What's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with yet another smartphone couch video. Intelligent black men do get attractive black women. And this is one of those, even though my videos usually for a general crowd, this one's specifically addressed to particularly the foundational black Americans, African American community, whichever you want to, because there's always that trope of black women just going for Pookie or Ray Ray. And let me be clear, this ain't defending the ones who do or anything. This is just saying plenty of educated black men, intelligent, educated, like certified, they got the degrees, they in an intelligent occupation where they working with their minds, doctors or lawyers, accountants. They do get attractive black women. And because I had to address that, because there's that trope, oh, they just want Pookie and Ray Ray and everything. Like, someone hit me up privately, I ain't gonna call his name, but I had to correct him on something because he was saying, why is it, all these black women, only want, a guy who's a criminal or a thug or a professional athlete. And that's a long time trope. That's been the thing. First of all, that's some bullshit. That's some straight bullshit. As someone who has letters after his name, as someone who has been in circles with other black men with letters behind their name, educated and everything since the 80s. And that's my peer group now. That is my peer group now. And they getting sisters easily, attractive ones easily. They're not thugs. They don't have a criminal record. I don't have a criminal record. I'm not a pro athlete and all of that. I'm not having trouble. Shoot, even some women who have no idea what I'm doing, black women, they approach it. But see, there's that thing, and it's an old thing because it's focused on like, oh, they only want Pookie and Ray Ray, just like regardless of their education or something. Let me hold up. First of all, do you know that particular woman is educated or whatever and is going for some thug? And first of all, they going to go for a thug, if they in some poor ass neighborhood. Because one of the things that's not talked about is the different class levels within the black community. Ironically, by some people that's in there. But shoot, I could take you some places you ain't gonna see no thugs. You go to some more upper middle class to even more upper class events, or you in certain regions and everything. Shoot, you're not gonna see that. And you in certain circles. Nah, you have some masters of the universe type brothers, you ask them what's up. They got their businesses. They got their degrees. Shoot, they got Esquire behind their name, MD, PhD behind their name, and they not having trouble. They not having trouble at all. But see, you get so many, they focus on, like, to me, the low-hanging fruit. It's like, okay. And let's be real, because they more turned on by that, or they not in a position to be around some men who are actually doing well. And they actually holding themselves up better than, quite frankly, low-hanging fruit. Okay. And plus, they looking at like, probably looking at some ratchets or some baddies and all of that, instead of a different class of women. See, one thing in the black community, and this is a real issue, is the tendency by outsiders, but definitely people on the inside, to try to lump everybody into one group. Now, there's some overlap between the classes, but it's different classes. Like I always tell that story when I went to 2 straight parties back in the day. Now, one was a pool party. Now, the women at this particular pool party, oh yeah, they probably go for Pookies and Ray Rays. They were more lower class. You could look at the women. They were ratchet. They were more lower. but then the next day went to a party that was more upper middle class, more bougie. And the women there looked like Barbies. The dudes had to be sharp, had to be clean cut and sharp, you know? Because that's the whole thing. And in fact, I would say this, probably the real, well, it's two issues. The two issues. One, too many brothers are focused on like the baddie type, that IG type. Too many who complaining, or they focus too much on like a rapper or something like that, or some actual thugs that they might see around. And yeah, they're gonna get their cut. They're gonna get their cut. But pay attention to the women who are actually doing something. Pay attention to the women who are getting with them. Are they the type of women you would really want? Really want? Like, have you talked with these women? No, they lower class. But then you get, if they were in more circles where they dealing with higher classes and everything within the black community, which it is, There's a lot of brothers out there making money. It's not in the news and everything, but they doing pretty well, got everything. And, if they in the right circle, or, they came out of school or something. They came out of school, or they went to a college, graduate level. They just dealing with a different class, because that's the whole thing. It's just different types of women. But why you focusing on, you focus on like a small group of women who are dealing with the guys, and they exist. I saw that the other day. I was someplace. Had this baddie. She was totally ratchet though. Got tattoos on her face. She was pregnant but had her belly all out. I was just like, I saw who she was with. I was like, you do your thing. You do your thing. I wasn't concerned at all. Because my focus, and I said this a lot of times, I focus on those AKA types. Alpha, Kappa, Alpha, those like sorority types. Those are the type of black women I've generally dealt with as an adult since the age 18, really. I've dealt with that type of crew. So it's totally different, and it's still like that to this day, because I know too many brothers and they with a decent system. And they not thugs or criminals or anything like that. But see, I'm going to tell you what. A lot of times, see, I say one, too many of them focus on the baddies, but you have a whole group of brothers, they ain't quite at with that professional level, but they ain't like just lower class. They ain't gutter or anything like that. They kind of in that middle, and those are the ones who will be saying much. So they seeing one thing, and they see it, and it happens, but they not seeing the other side of the picture. And, when somebody hit me up probably saying that, I was like, shoot, I could probably put a whole bunch of women and know some men, and they nowhere near that whole stereotype of the Pookie and the Ray Rays or the thugs. They nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. They in the circles, because you got, like I said, within the black community, first of all, you got different class levels. Then you got plenty of subcultures. And I always mention my friend. She black girl, real pretty, but she in the church. She got to have clean cut type of guys. And see, that's something else too. See, there's so many different angles. That thug thing. I mean, there's a group there, but why you worried about it? Unless that's where you at to even see that on a consistent basis. But then if you especially if you're in some place like Maryland, Charles County, PG County, the two richest majority black counties in America, you're going to see something different. Yeah, they got they got their little hoods there. Every place got their little hoods, but they also got like more upscale places, more upscale homes and everything. And you got men and women, black men and black women, they building. And the women are attractive, and the men are sharp, and they are intelligent. I mean, you can sit them down and give them an IQ test, or you can check their credentials. Shoot. And please, in fact, I know some brothers, high post high post brothers, very educated. Shoot, they if they on some player thing, they'll have several attractive women, several, you know, like coming at them. And one of the things I would say with that is that stereotype it's actually hurting the men more. It's actually hurting the men because you gotta need to be focused on doing your best. You need to be focused on it. Don't worry about, okay, if that woman likes that particular man over there, okay. That's one out of how many? It was like I told you, with me, if a woman's feeling a thug or she that type of vibe, she don't even register with me. She don't even register on my radar. Unless she right from me. She unusual like that ratchet I saw pregnant, got her belly all out. Oh man, I would, in fact, as a man, why would you even want that anyway? It was like, shoot, Pookie and Ray Ray doing you a favor. Shoot, like I said, I like those classy type of sisters and stuff, AKAs. My co-parent, AKA, you know, shoot. Like most of the sisters I've dealt with, AKA Delta sorority types, they ain't going near a thug or a criminal. And then even if you talk about those groupie types who, dealing with athletes or rappers or some shit, that's a whole different group any damn way. And I've dealt with some of them too. And shit, they only gonna deal with a certain type of brother. Even when they stop dealing with the athletes or the rappers. See, that's another thing. Don't worry about what the celebrities are doing. That's a whole different world. And it's a tiny world. You put all the black male celebrities, rappers, you can put the Russell Wilsons and the Futures and stuff all in one room. Shit, you can get them in a good stadium and still got tons of room. They can fill maybe a section of a stadium, all of them. It's not that many, really, if you really think about it. If you look at all the pro athletes, entertainers, and all of that, it's not that many. Why worry about it? See, get out here in the world. Like I'm known as the field master. I only deal with what I'm dealing with in the world. Like when that young man hit me up privately, he's talking about that whole, why they only want thugs and criminals and stuff. I'm like, well, hold up. I know this brother over here, PhD, know this brother over here, business owner. Know this brother over here, attorneys. Know a lot of them. Shoot, this brother over here, he got about 3 or 4. Doctor, prominent doctor. Everything. Yeah. I'm like, come on now. Come on. But see, too much of a focus is, first of all, let Pookie and Ray Ray do Pookie and Ray Ray. That's the first thing. Second, if that woman don't want you, there's an abundance of women. There's an abundance of black women, And then if you don't want that, there's an abundance of women outside of that. Why you worried about Pookie and Ray Ray? Unless you deep down want that woman he's getting with. And yeah, she might be fine, sexy and stuff, but she ratchet. It's a mind what you want. If you're a black man, you trying to be productive, you trying to build something, you want that classy woman beside you. And plenty really, they want an actual sister, so they there for you, for the ones. If you don't, just keep moving. Don't worry about Pookie and Ray Ray. Just keep moving. If you want to go overseas, something, just go. Seriously, but that's a thing. But then you got some content creators, they using that, make their little bit of money and everything. Blaming got to villainize somebody instead of really just looking at themselves. Because see, at the end of the day, it comes to who you are. At the end of the day, it comes to who you are and what you about and who you focus on and who your tribe is. And that's how it got to be. See, don't worry about it. Now, I use the example of the black community, but that's in any community because you got guys worried about some Chad or something like that. If you start expanding it, it's like, don't worry about that. Worry about who's feeling you. Worry about living your life. I want you to think about that, seriously. Seriously. You know, don't get caught up in that like, oh, I ain't getting the women because they want this guy. Who cares? Fix yourself up so they want you. Go into circles where the women you want to deal with. Like I use myself for an example. I don't deal with the women who would even want Pookie and Ray Ray. Never did. Never did. Because they ain't me. And I'm not attractive to them. They ain't attractive to me. Hey, fair exchange is no robbery. I like those women, the black women who have found me attractive. They've been more higher class. Now I know some people say, I can't see that. Shoot, hey, I can break out my credentials. And shoot, I can break out my credentials, and we can take an IQ test too. So, I'm just saying. So here's the thing. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. Find your crew, your crowd. If you got to move to do that, like if you're in a region and they ain't feeling you for some reason, move someplace else. Seriously, don't stay in a bad area. You know, don't stay in a bad area. Get your shit together, live your life, and find the women down for your program. All right? So I want y'all to really think about that. Like I said, this is more directed to the black men who support my work. But really, that's anybody. You can apply it to you. If you're not a black man, you can apply it to your community. It's the same thing. Don't worry about like a few women, what you think they want, or celebrities. First of all, don't pay attention to celebrities anyway. Focus on the women who want you. See, the thing is, I'm gonna tell you what, I know too many women. And if we're gonna focus just on the black community, I know too many black women. And trust me, they can't pull the wool over my eyes. I can read through them. And I know who they trying to get at. Now, there's some issues. Well, there's issues with women all over the world and stuff. But they want a certain type of man. In fact, there should be more of a complaint, probably, that they want those professional type bougie attorney doctors anyway. That should be more of a complaint any damn way for many of the brothers. Instead of worrying about some gutter ass women, chasing some gutter men. Seriously. So anyway, that's all I have. Yeah, I'm doing this couch bed. I'm walking up to my gym, so I don't want to be like holding the thing. Plus, I would have to walk around, and I don't want to give y'all a clue where I live. So anyway, that's all I have for now, y'all. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.